So I'm finally here, safe and sound, in my hotel after what felt like about a year of travelling, but was actually about 30 hours. I took, as I mentioned in my last video, on an overnight coach from Fuengirola to Madrid, which took about 7 hours. And I thought I'd sleep on the plane, on the coach, but didn't. So I got to the airport about 6 in the morning. My flight wasn't until 2 in the afternoon. That was also a mistake. Like 8 hours hanging around an airport where this time I was shattered as well. And then my phone went out of battery, and before check-in I couldn't find a single plug-in anywhere. Like, how do you pass the time with literally nothing? I read my passport. Have you ever read a passport? Like, I won't spoil it for you if you've not read yours yet, but there's not a lot of words in it. Some pictures of fish. Yeah, so I literally examined every single page. Like, I've never looked at it in that detail, so I guess that was a new experience. And by the time the check-in desk looked like it was about to open, they started putting like the barriers and stuff up. I was the second in the queue. And of course, with all my luggage, I was dead nervous by this point because I was so tired. I just didn't want anything to go wrong. And so eventually I got called up, and the woman weighed my first case, and it was exactly 20 kilos, like nothing, like 20.0, which was my allowance. Then she weighed my hand luggage, which was 10.5. She told me actually I was only allowed 8 kilos, and all the while I've got this enormous bag that I was trying to pass off like my handbag, like just hidden from her by the desk underneath my big floppy hat. And I was like, well, can I just pay for the 2 kilos? And she said, not for your hand luggage, but you can move 2 kilos into your hold luggage and pay for that. And there was no way anything was going in. So I thought maybe my laptop, like that's probably about 2 kilos, maybe that'll do it. But then she saw me try and put the laptop in, and she was like, no, not the laptop, keep that in your hand luggage. So I was like, but there's no way I'm going to fit like 2 kilos worth of socks into a bag that's literally, I'm worried the seams are going to break on it. So I had a little look, and then I went to do it again. I was like, it's the only thing that's going to be heavy enough. And then she obviously realised, and she was like, oh, don't worry about it, the 2 kilos is probably just yours. That's the laptop, so that's okay. Because you're allowed as well, either a handbag or a laptop bag, aren't you? So I guess that was counted then as my handbag. So after loads of faffing around, she didn't charge me anything, and I got my boarding passes. I had to try and pick up this enormous bag with the hat on it and try and keep it on the other side of my body as I walked away, and just hope she didn't call me back, which she didn't, which was fine. And then I was thinking I should have put more clothes. Well, I don't know, if I'd have put my shoes into my hand luggage or my case, they would have been overweight even more. But if I'd have put more clothes into my handbag, I could have put them on if there was a problem, whereas I can't wear more than 1 pair of shoes at a time. And then I had a great idea for a new invention. So it's like a trench coat, but when you pull it out, like a flasher would say, you've got like shoe racks inside, because there's no limit to how much you can wear, is there? So why not, like, you can get them for camping and things, can't you? Like pop-up wardrobes that have like packets that you put your shoes in, or even better, a massive coat with a big lining with pockets that just fall straight through, so you can literally just, I mean, you look kind of, I guess, like a Christmas tree by the end of it, but you could fit a few more things that way. So I'm too lazy to actually make a prototype. If anyone wants that idea, help yourselves. Yeah, so I finally got on the plane, dead relieved, and I managed to, just before, so after my first flight, I had just enough, what was I saying? So just before I got on the flight, I managed to find 1 plug socket after check-in and charge my phone for like half an hour. So onto the flight, airplane mode, music in, absolutely fine. But as soon as I got to Turkey, that was my priority. Find somewhere to charge it, because I didn't want to have to do the second leg from Turkey to Dubai without any music. So I found my gate, 202A, brilliant, sorted, hardly anyone there, 1 plug socket in the whole room, and a guy was using it to plug in his laptop and use his laptop. So I thought maybe there's one in the toilet. I went in, found 1 plug socket. So I plugged my phone in, and I'm there with all my luggage, like sat on the side by the door. Every time anyone comes in or out, like the cleaner was coming in trying to clean around me, and I felt like just a massive tramp, but I need battery. I didn't want to know as well what would happen if I got to Dubai and then something went wrong and I didn't have any battery on my phone to call anyone or use the Wi-Fi. So yeah, then I was trying to like leave voice notes for people, and the tannoy kept going, so I knew that when my flight was called I wasn't going to miss it. So I heard the call for the flight for Dubai, and I've come outside and everyone's still sat around. So I went and sat at the front near the desk, got my passport ready, got my boarding pass ready. And then they call for it again, which is a bit weird because they're not doing anything. They're all just stood there. And then eventually they start the boarding, and I went up and I gave them my ticket, and she scanned it and it flashed up with wrong flight. Oh my God. So I'm like, well, where am I meant to go? She said, I don't know, but this is a flight for Q8. So I'm like panicking by this point, grabbed my hand luggage and my enormous handbag, ran around to look at the board again with all the different flight numbers on, and looked at mine, gate number 204A, gate closed, so now I'm freaking out. So I'm trying to find where 204A is. I think it can't be far away from 202, I know. A guy saw me, could see that I was obviously really nervous, and I asked him, he pointed me to there, I'm literally running, and the staff obviously know that, like, they know someone's missing. So as I'm running up, they're like, Jennifer, and I was like, yes, so relieved. So I finally get on, everyone's sat on the plane. And one thing that really strikes me as weird though, like maybe I'm the weird one for not understanding it, but why do people clap when the plane lands? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, who's the applause for? The pilot? He's just, you know, doing his job. Like, I'm not saying it's a difficult job, but like, yay, you didn't kill us. Like, doctors save lives every day. Do doctors get a round of applause? Maybe for like the first successful face transplant, maybe he got a few pats on the back, a bit of a clap. But for something that's generally routine, like I could understand if there was a terrible landing and, you know, he just about pulled it off, but just a normal flight without incident, to then give a round of applause at the end, it seems weird. Like, surely it would be enough just to say thank you as you get off, like they normally stood there. It's the same with, like, at the cinema. Why do people clap at the cinema when the film finishes? The actors aren't there, they can't hear you, the director's not there, he doesn't know you're clapping. Like, I imagine some guy in the projection room just stood there, like, wiping away a single tear, like, this is what makes the job all so worthwhile. Yeah, just, maybe I'm the weird one, maybe I'm, no, I think it's weird. Yeah, so things that surprised me about the airport in Turkey, well, it didn't surprise me that there was a big push on Turkish Delight, which got me wondering, what was it called before Turkish Delight? Like, what do they call that in Turkey? So I've done a bit of research, and I'm not gonna embarrass myself by trying to pronounce the Turkish word for it, but it means like soothes and heals the throat. And then it was when it started being exported that they started calling it Turkish Delight in the 1800s. So there's your fact for the day. Every day's a school day. Something else that surprised me. So in the airport in Turkey, quite a lot of shops selling suitcases. Like, I would think of all the times that you're not going to want to buy a suitcase, it's at an airport. Surely if you needed one before, you would have already bought one and packed one in. And even if you bought it and thought, oh, so beautiful, I love it, look at the colour, the shape, never going to find another case like that again, what are you going to do? Buy it, transfer your stuff across, and by then your luggage is checked anyway, so you could only really have hand luggage sized case. Or would you buy it, and how would you even get it? That just struck me as really weird. Again, maybe I'm the one that's doesn't know what she's talking about. So anyway, finally arrived in Dubai, and I stepped off the plane, and at first I thought I was in front of the engine, you know, like a wave of heat hit me. And then I realised, no, that's just what it feels like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Kind of like being in a sauna, you know how your lungs feel like when you take a breath and it doesn't really feel like you're breathing because the air is so hot. It was like that, but maybe not so bad, because it was 35 degrees, which felt like 3 or 4 in the morning, I guess was okay. But then straight onto the courtesy bus to the airport, and that was air conditioned. The airport was air conditioned, the taxi from the airport was air conditioned, so yeah, today I've not stepped outside. I've not risked the daytime sun of Dubai yet. It was hot enough for me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Also, by the time I got to the hotel, it was like 5 a.m. and the staff was so good. Bearing in mind my check-in shouldn't have been until midday, I emailed them ahead to say I was going to be really early, and they were like, well, we'll try and get you a room as soon as one's free. And it was about 5 a.m. They let me into the room. So I slept until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, woke up, just had a day around the hotel, bit of food, a lot of coffee, and now I'm going to go out for the evening. So common misconception. A lot of people seem to think that it's impossible to get alcohol in Dubai. But tonight I'm actually going to a ladies' night where for women, well, ladies, not that I would class myself as a lady, but for ladies it's free wine between I think 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. The bar's called Copper Dog, which is a replica, I think, of a Scottish bar. So I think it'll probably be quite cool. Do not plan to get drunk, but then whoever plans to get drunk, yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes and get back to you soon. Hope you're all good.